some people chase after an identity without Christ or in the world instead of resting in Jesus and resting in Christ and finding the identity there. Why do you think people do that?
The social pressures of everyday life.
Yes.
And say, for instance, school environment, talking to school people, talking to young adults, the work environment, the people you get to meet there. These are all worldly scenarios where the worldly pressures apply. So the questions people will ask and the perspective the normal person out there will have is to judge people according to who they are, what they drive, what job do they do.
Sure.
These are worldly perspectives. I think we need to accept that this is how the world view people. So we need to have a deciding factor within ourselves. Am I going to choose to fall underneath that? Or am I going to choose to look at God's way through identity?
Sure.
And I think if you only engage with the worldly people in worldly scenarios, you're going to be prone to fall underneath that perspective. And then you're going to have to chase these identities to feel good about yourself. Otherwise, you're constantly going to compare yourself with other people and say, I'm less than, this person is more, or I'm more than this person because of this. And that's all really unhealthy.
Yeah.
But I think the other side of the coin, the other option we have on the table today is to say, listen, if I really get a healthy church community, and I mean, especially like our church, it's like family for me. It's really a community of people that invest into each other's life. Now, these are people that chooses to view other people's identity not through the worldly perspective, but through the spiritual or the godly perspective. And now you get different questions. You get people that look at you differently, that asks different, and just encourage a different. So it's a whole different culture. But I need to consciously go and spend more time here than I'm spending here. Otherwise, I'm going to fall prone to the pressures I'm going to receive in the worldly system and cultures. I think that's some practical thing that I don't think we can escape. Because if you're just going to be in the world, spend all your time there, you're going to have to spend a lot of alone time with God to counter that. But I do think just as this worldly culture is there, we shouldn't deny that there's a church culture or a spiritual culture where I can still find a healthy culture. And the moment I get into this culture and invest here, I can start finding my identity and different stuff.